Hey everyone. Yeah, I got about a little over, just about 20 minutes to do this, maybe less. But I haven't really talked about this much in quite some time, and obviously lately I've been getting a lot of comments, courtesy of somebody leaving a link for change.org, and basically the reason being is because they want a certain pairing to be made official. And I talked about this. I kind of did like a little video with my mom's phone. She has a camera on it, so I did it with that. And yeah, pretty much there's a lot of fans that still support the idea, still back the idea, petitioning for the idea of having Shaggy and Daphne together, or at least I would assume Warner Brothers, now that they have the Hanna-Barbera library, at least for those that work on the Scooby Doo cartoons, the movies, and all that at Warner Brothers, to at least acknowledge Shaggy and Daphne as an item, or at least they were an item back in the day, and not try to hide it. And I do have to respect that people want something that I have to respect people standing by and wanting something a certain way. I do have to respect that. But sometimes we get what we want, sometimes we don't get what we want. And then sometimes we get some hints thrown our way. Yeah, we get some hints thrown our way. Like I said, if you take a look at the cover for Legend of the Vampire, you have Shaggy and Daphne right next to each other. You got the Phantasaur movie, which some people indicate has Shaggy, Daphne in that somewhat. Um, what else? There was one, basically the musical one that they did, where they sang right at the beginning, and you have Shaggy and Scooby pop up on top of pop up to the sunroof of the mystery machine, and all of a sudden Daphne joins them, and it's like Daphne's looking at Shaggy and all that, and it's like okay, fine, we get it. So then we get to Franken Creepy, which I do own. I just haven't watched it yet. But apparently there's a Shaggy and Daphne moment there, and apparently Shaggy calls Daphne Daphne, not Daph, uh, Daphne, not or something like it's. Well, basically calls her Daph, I think, or Daphne, something like that. Not Daphne, just Daphne. Daphn, I guess. I don't know. That's what one fan put it. But basically calls her by her nickname, and he does this several times according to the source. So, uh, is this Warner Brothers finally seeing the light and saying, "Hey, we'll go in that direction"? I don't really think so. Not just yet. Not saying they won't. I mean, it's quite obvious. They can't hide the fact that there's a lot of longtime fans and even some newer fans that know about and are discovering that in the past it was Daphne and Shaggy were always together most of the time. So I'm assuming they pretty much are trying to hint at the fact that there could be something there, but they're not going to go in that direction yet. And sometimes those hints are just homages, I think, to the previous incarnations. You know, and then of course you have one fan over at the Shaggy and Daphne fans hangout forum on fanfiction.net uh, talking about how he likes the fact that Warner Brothers, or at least the team working on Scooby Doo, on the Scooby Doo animated movies, are kind of backing away from having established relationships, and they're just going with the rule of no relationships, uh, as in the old days. But I think, according to several people, there were relationships back when the show first began, the franchise first began back in 1969. So there was something something there there for a while. Uh, we just never really saw it that much. And or it really wasn't hinted as much as it should be. So there were relationships, but I think as the series progressed, they kind of backed away from it and stuff. And yeah, it's so yeah, I think that's obviously so obviously if that's what Warner Brothers is doing right now, they're trying to back away uh from the relationship deal and just have it like it was in the past. And hey, I applaud them for that. I applaud them for that. But it all really depends on what happens in the future. I mean, I will say this about the Shaggy Daphne supporters, and believe me, I'm one of them. I think I did sign one of those. I did kind of put my signature to one of those Change.org petitions. But I'm one of them, and I've always felt that there was always that unique chemistry between the two. Unlike what you would see before, I think there was always that unique chemistry. So, to me, to to see the possibility that they're hinting or at least homaging it, kind of paying nodding their hats to it and all that. I'll give Warner Brothers credit there. Um, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people always wonder why fans support Shaggy and Daphne, and it's like I just said. I think it's the chemistry there. It's that chemistry, and I think it kind of differs from that traditional handsome guy, jock, leader of the group getting the lead girl or getting the most popular, beautiful girl. I think it kind of differs. It differs from that and goes in another direction. It kind of goes in that. Um, what would I use for an example? It kind of goes in the direction that Disney went with Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. No one from a story aspect wanted a sequel, I'm sure of that. But still, we got one, and no one probably ever thought that the Disney version of Quasimodo was going to get a love interest, mostly one I think that was voiced by Jennifer Love Hewitt, I believe. And yet, he got one. And here's a girl that, if you were to look at that character, would say, why would such a beautiful character like her, beautiful girl like her in a Disney film, go for someone like Quasimodo? But yet she does. So so to me, I think it's, and I apologize for the bird. So to me, I think that's what fans like about this. It's kind of in that same category that it differs. It kind of differs from that traditional stereotypical hot hot girl winds up with jock kind of deal because the jock has a good heart and he's the leader of the group or something like that. I think it differs from that, and that's why people support it. So if anybody's always wondering why, there's your answer. It's different. It differs. It goes in another direction. And I think that's why for 3 seasons they kept it like that. I think that, and they kept it like that. Even when you had the guest returns and appearances of Fred and Velma, sometimes individually or together, it was basically something that differed, and people liked it. They really did. And that's why anytime they see either in like with Mystery Incorporated, even though it's some kind of hypnotic situation or whatever, when they see something like that, even though it was more like say some kind of hypnotic thing, when they see something like that, even in Mystery Incorporated, or they see any kind of indication of it in the movies, and even in What's New Scooby Doo, and I think even Scooby and Shaggy Get a Clue or something like that, even as far as Pup Named Scooby Doo, but more along the lines of more recent stuff, like I say the movies, Mystery Incorporated, and even What's New. When people see those hints or those scenes, those moments, it gives them hope. It gives them hope, and it makes them think and believe that perhaps Warner Brothers is hinting or at least acknowledging in their own way that yes, Shaggy and Daphne did happen. Oh yes, we probably will try for a Shaggy Daphne deal down the line. And I think now with the announcement that the first season of the Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo show is coming to DVD, that that might be more of a reality, because you can't just put out the first season or first volume season of Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo show without possibly bringing out the others down the line. And I think that's what's going to happen, whether the MODs, movies on demand, or not. So, so in my opinion, this is why fans support Shaggy and Daphne. You know, even if it's not official yet, anytime they see these kind of moments and scenes in the movies, in the animated movies, maybe the shows, it gives them that hope. It gives them that belief that it's going to happen, or at least Warner Brothers is acknowledging that yes, it did happen in the past, and yes, it is kind of canon in a unique sort of way. It is kind of canon in a unique sort of way, because it's like a lot of people are saying, if the ending of Mystery Incorporated was basically a reboot, a retcon of going into basically the original series, which began in 1969, then basically then by doing so, Warner Brothers is basically saying that everything that comes after Mystery Incorporated, whether it's Where Are You, Scooby Doo, to the Scooby Doo movie, Scooby Doo show, Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo show, New Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo show, New Scooby Doo Mysteries, and 13 Ghosts, all of those are part of the same continuity if the ending of Mystery Incorporated, the final scene of the series, is any indication from what people have said, or at least indicating that. So, to me, if that all makes sense, then you could see why fans support Shaggy and Daphne. Why fans, like with Frankie and Creepy, when they see Shaggy and Daphne hugging for some time, as one fan put it, and Shaggy calling her by her nickname in a sense, it kind of gives them hope. It gives them hope and belief that at least there's acknowledgement about it, and perhaps Warner Brothers is hinting of going in that direction. So, but that's all I have to say on it, and why fans support Shaggy and Daphne, and why they get why they always talk about and get behind all these scenes and hints and all that occur in the movies and in the shows, because like I said, to them it's an acknowledgement that maybe they're hinting at something, or at least they're acknowledging that it has happened and they're not going to hide it anymore. So let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'm going to get ready for work because I got to leave in about just a little bit. Peace out.